Happy Sunday, everyone. So today we need to talk about the Atlantic story that allegedly Donald Trump had said disparaging things about military veterans. So now the Democrats are basically using hashtag MeToo logic, hashtag Believe All Women logic in order to push disparaging stories about Donald Trump, because now the only thing you need to try to push a viral story about Donald Trump is you need an uncorroborated anonymous source in order to do so, and it's basically believe all Democrats. Why? Because it's a bad, mean thing about Donald Trump, so let's not ask any questions. There should be no due process, there should be no investigation, and let's just try to push this viral smear. So the story goes like this. Donald Trump was at a cemetery, and an eyewitness heard him say that the fallen war veterans were losers and suckers, and the extent of the evidence is literally, I heard him say this years ago. No corroborating evidence at all. No other witnesses have come out and saying that they heard him say this. Instead, the contrary has happened. There has been 10 other eyewitnesses so far that have actually said that, no, I was there and I didn't hear him say that. One of which is an ex-employee, John Bolton, who was fired, who you would think would be at odds with the president, and even he came out and said, no, that story is absolute BS. And you would think that Democrats would be smart enough to ask obvious questions like, why wasn't this story reported immediately after it happened, and why did they wait years? I mean, it's not like the person was trying to muster up courage. Were they worried that there was going to be backlash for coming out and saying bad things about Donald Trump? Well, first off, for the last 4 years, it's been extremely popular. The Democrats will parade anyone that says bad things about Donald Trump. They will parade that person around as a hero. And secondly, they came out as anonymous anyway. So what the hell was their concern? Were they worried that they might be disparaged for coming out and reporting that Donald Trump said mean things about war veterans? They came out anonymously. So what took them so long? And it seems that they are just trying to come out at a politically convenient time when the Democrats literally have no other stories to run to try to detract attention away from stories that actually have real evidence. For example, right, like unlike the story that Donald Trump said mean things about war veterans, you have no audio, you have no video, you just have an uncorroborated anonymous eyewitness story. And then we have other stories that actually have video evidence, like Nancy Pelosi defying lockdown orders as she tries to enforce them for you and I, and anything the Democrats can do to detract away, to try to bring attention away from stories like that, they are going to do so. And then another angle that the Democrats are trying to go with is, well, Donald Trump said mean things about John McCain. Well, this is in fact true. He said some insensitive things about John McCain. There's plenty of things that he said about John McCain that I don't think that he should have said. He had called John McCain a loser. One of the misinterpretations is that he had called John McCain a loser in his efforts as a war veteran, but no, he was referring to him losing the 2008 election against Barack Obama. And then another thing he said is, I prefer my war veterans or my war heroes uncaptured. This was a mean thing to say. It was an insensitive thing to say. But once again, evidence that Donald Trump said mean, disparaging things about John McCain is not evidence that Donald Trump then said other mean, disparaging things about all war veterans. This would be the equivalent of saying that, well, I think Joe Biden said that he hates all black people. Well, what's your evidence? Well, on the Charlemagne the God show, he had said that if you have to decide whether or not you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Well, once again, that's just evidence that he said that. It's not evidence that he said something other than that. So this is the new burden of proof that the Democrats need in order to try to push a viral smear story about Donald Trump. And you can expect way more of this leading up to the election, because now the Democrats only need an anonymous eyewitness source that is uncorroborated in order to push some viral smear story about Donald Trump. So in other words, they don't really need anything at all. So they're going to continue to do this on looping repeat, because anything they can do to try to take attention away from the riots, away from Nancy Pelosi defying lockdown orders, away from a news cycle that they are not happy about at all, one that is very politically damaging to them. So they will do anything in their power to try to pivot and take focus away from those political news cycles that are really, really damaging to their campaign. So anyway, That's my video. Hope you like it. Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe, and I will see you all next time.